It's that time of week again, baby, ladies and gents, because we have the newest spoilers out, and boy, they are a fucking doozy, ladies and gentlemen. So, without further ado, we are going to go ahead and hop in. Unfortunately, if you watched my previous video last week, I would recommend to watch it. I'm sure if you saw the title, you know. There are going to be some changes moving forward to the spoiler videos, so hopefully you'll be able to handle that. And from moving on forward, this is going to be the format that I'm going to make these videos. So let's go ahead and dive into these spoiler scans. Unfortunately, that you won't be able to see, but once again, my man Atsushi 101X on Twitter coming through. 286 is titled One Among Us, and if you aren't familiar with where we left off, basically we had a big Bakugo character moment chapter last time. Deku's beating Shigi's ass, and Bakugo, or no, it was Shigaraki lent his body to All For One, kind of, I don't know, lost his control, whatever the fuck happened, I'm not sure. And then he impaled Bakugo, and Bakugo had a hero moment. So, one of the things that is described, but it is said that Bakugo is falling down, but Todoroki holds him through his leg, and Todoroki is also holding up Endeavor. So Endeavor was impaled, and Bakugo were impaled by the whatever the fuck the Force Quirk activation fingers that All For One has. But the first big scan we get is just, dude. So first off, do you remember how Shigaraki looked like he looked like a demon? He looked like a mold from Resident Evil 7. And we take a look at what he looks like now, and he looks a bit more human because it's almost like the black. So he's surrounded by the black stuff. I'm just gonna call it the Resident Evil 7 mold because that's all I can describe it by. The black stuff is falling off of his eyes and a little bit on his ears and his hair, but he still has a bunch of black stuff surrounding him, which I'm assuming is the spirit of All For One. That's what I'm going to assume it is. And he's, it looks like he has some control of what he's doing, or he's conscious of what he's doing. It's unconfirmed at this point whether or not he's in control of his body, but just know that Shigaraki, that's the way he looks like now. It looks like he has a bunch of Resident Evil mold coming out of his, or covering his skin. We then get another page of Bakugo falling to the ground, bleeding out, or not bleeding out, but bleeding from his mouth. As basically, this is such a good moment. If any of you guys watched Dragon Ball in the Tournament of Power, in Dragon Ball Super around a couple years ago, when Vegeta, the whole Goku and Vegeta stuff, when Vegeta is eliminated from the Tournament of Power, he gives Goku his energy, and he says Kakarot, it's up to you now. That beastly moment. Well, apparently Bakugo starts to fall down from the air when he gets impaled, and he coughs up blood, and Deku looks over, and Bakugo looks over to him and says, you are the only one who can win this. And that's, plus or minus, that is a rough translation. That, dude, we just had our Vegeta moment right there, bro. Bakugo understands that this is Deku's battle to win. But Bakugo finally did something, and, well, this might be the inspiration for Deku to, finally hike up his trousers and get serious. Bakugo, I predict, will not die. He seems pretty okay. Todoroki has him and Endeavor together, so that's cool. But then the next scan, bro. You thought Fury Deku was last time? Bruh. Look at this shit, dude. First off, you know what this looks like? This scan looks like the shot of when Deku went to go punch Overhaul, and he had Eri on his back, and it was all dark and it covered his face. All you saw were his glowing eyes. That's what this looks like, dude. It looks like Deku has dark shadow like over him in the armor that Tokiyami has, bro. His eyes are white with fucking energy, and he has some black shit flowing from his hair. And you know what it looks like, bro? The little Force Quirk things that come out of All For One's fingers. It looks like Deku fucking straight up put one in his mouth and bit it off like it was a fucking stick. You know how you bite the coin to see if it bends or bends. Sorry, English. It straight up looks like he just bit one of those and just fucking ripped it off, dude. It's bro, how much more alpha can you be, my man? Holy crap, bro! This scan looks fucking insane. Deku straight up's gonna have a UI moment, dude, where he's gonna be inspired by the fatal injury of Bakugo to just fucking murder. We then go up for some more scans. Deku, once again, looks absolutely bonkers. And then, what, in my opinion, we look over to Shiggy, another scan of Shiggy, and we see that the black stuff is covering his left eye, which is closed. But you can see his eye underneath with this black stuff. So it looks like the black stuff's eye is closed, but Shigaraki's eye is open, kind of, I guess, symbolizing that he is conscious and or aware of his actions. And I don't know, something happens. Somehow, I'm assuming Deku uses Black Whip or some quirk he slashes directly diagonally down the middle of Shigaraki's face. It starts from his hair, goes right down his forehead, and right through the right half, or right through the right part of his mouth. So he just gets a full-on slash right through Shigaraki's face, bro. Straight up a face slash, bro. And the or not the final scan, but one of the most beastly scans is we see that Shigaraki's face like opens up, right? Like it straight up, like it's almost like Deku cut him in half. And inside, it's just so fucking gnarly, dude. Inside Shigaraki's head, we see a smiling all for one from that slash. Bruh, Deku is so pissed that he slashed Shigaraki's head in half, and we literally see the spirit of all for one just living in Shiggy's head, bro. And he's fucking smiling, bro. This is straight up like Lovecraftian horror, bro. This isn't actually Lovecraftian horror, but like, bro, this is fucking possession. It's literal possession, dude. I cannot begin to explain the amount of this is such a good visualizer, such a good metaphor, whether it's literal or not, in manga art, that can you imagine when this gets animated, bro? This is gonna look fucking insane. When we see Deku slash Shigaraki's head open to see the spirit of All For One just living inside, especially since how My Hero handles blood and gore, like, bro, don't even get me started, alright? We then get to the next chapter where Deku seems to be hijacked by the spirit of One For All. But first off, we then get a scan of Deku getting what looks like Shigaraki's hand, just like flicking his nose. But like, what? He's like, I don't know. Somehow, somewhere, Shiggy's punching Deku in the face. It looks like he's flicking his nose, or like, picking Deku's nose. Shigaraki saw, Shiggy looked over at Deku and he saw a dangler, so he figured he would help him, fix that problem. So that's what that happens. We then move over to the next scan, which, dude, I swear, we then see Deku, I don't know, looking a bit surprised or afraid. He doesn't even look like he's, Fury Deku anymore. But then we see Shigaraki, his straight up, his right ear is just gone. It's just gone. There's just like a hole there. It's almost like Deku punched it off. And then he still has the slash through his face, but he's smiling with his one eye, which is his left eye. Bro, Shigaraki straight up looks like a zombie. He is straight up decaying from the mold. He's straight up just actually falling apart, but he's having a real good fucking time while doing it. And then Deku starts to see a vision here because it's so weird. It's like some black spirit like takes over. Like, I don't know. This seems more metaphorical, but like a black spirit like surrounds itself around Deku. And for one, Deku's naked in this scene. How do I know he's naked? Because he's shirtless, and the black stuff that's like the black spirit that's like covering his body is very conveniently covering the parts you wouldn't want to see if he was naked. So Deku is just naked. I don't know why, but if you were gonna draw the physical representation of the spirit world, can spirits wear clothes, please? I don't understand why you have to be naked in the spirit world. Like, it doesn't make any sense. I feel like your metaphor would work just fine if he had clothes on. It's just a personal preference. That's just what I think. But hey, maybe some people aren't as uncomfortable about nudity as I am. Who knows, bro? We then get a zoom in on the face and the quirk. It's almost like the quirk of One For All is like holding Deku's mouth, kind of like a ninja mask. It's holding his mouth. It's just a zoom in. And the final scans that we get here are not too significant, but we then see Deku kind of getting like pulled away. We see a hand get put on Deku's back, like on the back of his head. And when we see the person who put a hand on the back of his head, it's Nana Shimura, and she's looking pretty concerned. So Nana Shimura was trying to help Shiggy, in his dreams, and now she's trying to help Deku in his dreams. So either way, someone has to win this fight. Is it going to be the literal fucking zombie Shiggy, or is it going to be fucking, I don't know, naked spirit world Deku, bro? Who fucking knows? All I know is that the Lakers fucking destroyed the Heat tonight, so that's one thing that's confirmed. But two, another thing that's confirmed is every fucking chapter of this arc is just going to continually be fucking fire. And you know what? I am okay with that. I am completely okay with that.